will be able to view it at their leisure. Today, our pledge is brought to us by Dan Hall.
Hello, everyone. Please stand and put your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Dan. Week here today is Brian Gentry. I don't see him on the call. Are you here, Brian? Looking for volunteers then. How about G-Swag? You want to do week here?
Yes, sir. Does anybody care or have a care?
Julio.
Go ahead, Julio.
Bad news. My aunt, who lives in Switzerland, passed away yesterday. She is in her 90s. She's married to my father's younger brother, and they've been living in Switzerland for many years now, and she's Swiss. And she's been dealing with a difficult illness, which makes her not movable. So it's, but that actually, I think she passed peacefully, and so please keep her in your prayers.
Hello?
Thank you.
Sorry, Julio.
Sorry,
I'm on
Julia.
a Zoom meeting for Rotary.
Anybody else have any other week cares, concerns?
Okay, I'll be off of this at 1:30. Okay, bye.
So I guess we just care for all the people with the COVID and getting the vaccinations and the ones that gotten over the COVID.
Bill Burke, Gary, Bill Burke.
Bill, go ahead.
I mentioned before that I have a granddaughter who had the COVID twice. And she didn't think that they paid much attention to her. Recently, a relative in Southern California was talking to her doctor and mentioned that she had a niece who had COVID twice. And the doctor said, oh yes, I read about that case. It's really something. And apparently somebody was paying attention, and it was written up in one of the journals. So that, she's going down in history, and she's pleased. She thought no one was paying attention.
Wow.
All right, Nancy's doing good. Any update from Nancy panel?
She's there.
She's here.
That's good.
There's no update. Everything is the same.
No, we
You
just pray
sound
for-
good.
Pray for healing for you. Right, anybody else?
Gary?
Yes.
Gary, this is Larry Annis.
Hi, Larry.
If no one else has wished you a happy birthday, I would like to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh,
Aw.
thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Today is his
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
You.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear girl. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Many more.
Holy. And do we mention what number it is?
Sure.
Big 6
Yeah, right?
We hit
Oh,
60.
6-0, wow.
Wow.
You don't look a day over
Congrats.
63, Gary.
Love you too, Larry.
Just a child.
All right.
Happy birthday. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate
Hey,
that.
Gary, this is Lisa
Yes.
Freitas. I have a week here.
Okay.
I just wanted, this is kind of on a personal note, so I just want to say that my week here is about Bill Evans, who happens to be our insurance agent for personal and business. And just recently, we had a long going, unfortunate workers' comp case with one of our employees. And so Bill Evans and Farmers Insurance completely took care of it from start to finish. And he finally settled. It was at least 2 years, 2.5 years going. And so I just wanted to give Bill my gratitude in front of everyone that he and his have been great, and I would never switch, no matter who says they can save us money. I just loyal to him forever. So that's my care. Thank you, Bill.
Oh, great going, Bill.
Very nice.
I'm gonna have to penalize myself. Get a fine. Don, you have a song for us today.
Yeah, we do. We're going to do one of our old favorites, Rotary We Care.
All right.
That's a jumpy one. You guys ready? Okay, we got to mute everybody. That's Ricky. And then I'll unmute me.
Okay, just a second.
Ricky's got to. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Someone needs a helping hand. We care. Could be home or foreign land. We care. We care. Rotary here and everywhere. We work hard and we play fair. We are Rotary through and through. And we love good things to do. We are Rotary, me and you, and we care. Come on, everybody, do that one more time. Do it like you feel it. Oh, one need a helping hand. We care. Could be home or foreign land. We care. We care. Rotary here and everywhere. We work hard and we play fair. We are Rotary through and through. And we love good things to do. We are Rotary, me and you. And we care. Yeah. All right.
Oh, that was great, Don. Thank you.
Thanks,
Wonderful, Don. Wonderful.
That gets your blood going, huh?
Well, we're ready to be inspired. Randy Brown, are you ready to inspire us?
Bill Evans, I am. Thank you. I would like to take this time to talk about 2020 and its impact, to inspire you by the positives that came from it. Have you ever imagined a time that in your life that you would not be able to buy toilet paper? Most of us would just like to forget about the year 2020 and never look back. Today, I want to recap on our experience with the year 2020 and how it changed my life, as I'm sure it changed everyone's life. As I anticipated the year back in 2019, I had very high hopes. Boy, was I in for a big surprise, and not in a good way. Who could have predicted what all of us were about to endure? I was incoming chamber board chair. I was really excited about this position and all of the speaking opportunities that came with it. And I had decided to run for Pleasanton City Council. Little did I know what was about to happen, not only in my life, but the lives of everyone on the planet. I wasn't alone. We were all experiencing the same storm in different boats, but the same storm. The year started out just like most other years. The chamber board chair was exactly what I had hoped for. It was exciting and fun with all of the speaking opportunities and events. Then all of a sudden, life started to spiral out of control. COVID happened and the stay-at-home order was announced. At first, it wasn't too bad. Lisa was able to work from home, as was I. Then, as the dust started to settle, after the explosion of COVID, the effects really started to become apparent. Lisa was furloughed. The world wasn't sure what to expect. It's like it was holding its breath, or like everything was taking a pause. Every organization seemed to suspend all of their events. Rotary stopped. The campaign I had planned for city council was completely taken out at the knees, and I had to rework my plan to even have a chance to get elected. Our normal was rewritten, and a temporary new normal was tossed at us. Oh, and toilet paper gate, let's not forget that. Better stock up every chance you get. All of us were trying to figure life out because we are doers, we're survivors. Life continued. Zoom was introduced to us, which provided a way to have visual contact without actually being there. Essential businesses were established. The community stepped up to support local businesses and restaurants. They purchased gift cards and gave extraordinary tips to servers and gave grace because of being short-staffed. We all had to rely on others much more than ever. Our relationships deepened. William, our first grandson, was born, and to see the look on my wife's face when she gets to hold him just melts my heart. He certainly has become the bright spot in our lives while in the darkest of times. Even though I wasn't successful in my run for city council, I won with deeper relationships, with deeper appreciation. We adjusted our priorities by rethinking what we needed, what we had, and what we didn't need. Our love for family and friends became a whole new importance to us. We all needed to provide assistance to the struggling, reaching out to just let them know we cared. We did everything possible to help struggling businesses survive. Heroes emerged where you would never have expected. First responders and essential workers stepped up to do what it took to provide for what was needed. Well, here we are back at the starting gate, looking straight at 2021. This time, I have beefed up my inventory supply just in case. We can't let 2020 define us or have anything but a positive impact on our future. We can go into this new year with a new sense of accomplishment. We need to appreciate all of the moments we have with people. We need to be thankful for the good fortunes that we are blessed with. We need to recognize that so many have lost so much, and we could never forget that. As we reflect back on 2020, these words ring true. Embrace life's challenges and explore where life takes you. Look to the future and learn from your past. As long as we have a breath left in us and hope, everything is possible. Thank you, Bill.
Wow, that was very, very well done, Randy.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any visiting Rotarians with us today?
I don't see Rachel Finnegan on the screen today.
Rachel is on here. I saw her, and so is Lynn Monica, who I don't know either of those two, but hopefully get someone that can introduce them.
Okay, I just want to say that Rachel let me know that she is joining Rotary. And so I'm going to start the process of taking her through the procedures. So it will be a great new member addition for us. Welcome today.
Yeah, thank you. I found you guys on the internet, and I've been in your past, two of the past 3 meetings. I just want to become more engaged in the community. From those 2 meetings that I joined, I think I'm going to enjoy coming each week. I've been in Pleasanton for almost 12 years, and my sons have went through the Pleasanton School District. I love it here, and the opportunity to provide more assistance where I can, volunteering, or if I have any connections for networking, I'd be more than happy to do my share.
Wonderful.
Great. Awesome.
And what's Rachel's business?
Well, I work for Roche Molecular. It's in Pleasanton. So I'm administrative and been there just for almost 2 years. So that's my business, my line of work.
Nice.
welcome, Rachel. We're happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
Hi, someone asked me to be introduced. Nobody's here. Nobody's going to introduce me, so I'll introduce myself. I'm Lynn Monica. I'm actually filling in for Lisa McNaney. She spoke to you guys last week, I believe, for Culinary Angels. The chair of Culinary Angels board. I've also, you guys, some of you may know me from Sunflower Hill. I used to be on the board with Sunflower Hill and started the garden. So anyway, I'm here filling in for Lisa. But I am also a Rotarian. We're part of the Livermore Rotary.
Welcome, Lynn.
Welcome.
Thank you, Lynn.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Bob Silva, or no, Bob Shapiro.
Joyce had to answer the door, but today I have as a guest my wife, Joyce.
Okay.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
He says hi to everyone.
Guests of Rotarians with us here today.
Get the door, Joyce.
Well, welcome visitors and guests. Right now it's time for our Rotary International video. So Ricky, roll it.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. Just a second. There it is.
Our connections make powerful things happen, uniting individuals and communities. We are Rotary. We are people of action. And together, we turn great ideas into reality by accessing our networks, our experience, and the best of ourselves to make a difference. Around the world, Rotary brings leaders together to build new friendships and to solve problems. Like in Austria, where generations work side by side to come up with innovative ways to build sustainable housing and community centers. Everyone learning from each other. In India, volunteers run a mobile blood bank to help provide a steady blood supply for their local community. And in Taiwan, people are working hard to get vulnerable citizens the support and services they need. With over 1 million members, we know what people can do when they come together. In your backyard and around the world, there's power in our connections. Take action with us. Find out more at Rotary.org.
All right, thanks, Ricky. Today we get to do something pretty fun for the next few minutes before our program. And Marjorie and Kathy are going to now recognize two of our wonderful Rotarians, two people that exemplify service over self. So Marjorie and Kathy, take it away.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, everyone, we're back. And Kathy and I would just like to let you know, first of all, that we've both received our COVID shots, our first COVID shots, but we are still testing regularly just in case. So here we go.
I think I got it.
I don't think we have it. Okay. So today, Kathleen and I are here on behalf of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton Foundation Board of Trustees. Kathy?
Club of Pleasanton itself was formed in 1965, and a few years later, the foundation arrived to join in to help the community with servicing projects and things like that. We have had lots of leaders in our community who through Rotary served the community by working to benefit charitable organizations, funding scholarships, and promoting good citizenship. And we are here to honor two fabulous people today.
We are. Further, the mission of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton is to support its members on fulfilling the purpose of the Rotary by fostering unity among its members, strengthening and expanding Rotary in our community, as well as surrounding clubs boundaries, communicating community-wide work of Rotary and providing a system to facilitate the community and international activities of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton.
Well, we just wanted to also let you know that we're reading the script today because Marjorie, when she was finishing her treasurer's report last night at midnight, sent me another script to read. So I'm going to read it to you today. But I first want to say we're here again to acknowledge these two special members of our Rotary Club. We hope this will help all of you to get to know more about them and thank them for all they have done for our club and all they do. Ricky, could you focus on Beth Atterbury, please? Beth, you can take your mute button off, but I do want you to hear everything, and I know you can hear it. Beth is real special to me because I probably knew Beth before most of you people met her, because when she was a little girl, and I don't even know if she was going to school yet at Alisal, but her older sister, I think her older sister's about 3 years older, but she was best friends with my daughter, Rachel. So Beth grew up in Pleasanton from get-go, and it was a pleasure to see that she arrived in our club because I knew how special she was. Sister Andrea and Rachel were friends, big pals for a long time, and I know when her mom would pick her up from sleepovers, and Beth was there, so I saw her in the car. Beth I asked Beth, and I asked another person what made them proud of themselves, and she, of course, reminded me of family first. She's very proud of her family, her two daughters, Haley and Riley. Haley was recently awarded the Kindness Award by her first grade teacher. And Riley is fearless and reminds her to try new things. Her family is an extremely important part of her life. And I know that family is very tight with each other. And she was fortunate to have close relationships, not only with her immediate family, but also with her cousins, aunts, and uncles. They are a tight group and lucky to still have her 91-year-old grandmothers leading the way.
And may your grandmother remain healthy and strong. Among Beth's other accomplishments, she was presented last fall with the Good Neighbor Award for volunteer work with Miracle Messages, an award-winning nonprofit organization that's San Francisco-based and rebuilds social support systems for unhoused neighbors, primarily through family reunifications, a phone-based buddy system, and $500 a month direct cash transfers. Aside from that, at the end of last year, Beth was a busy woman last year. She became the first woman board member of Eura Audit International, which is an international tax and accounting organization. Beth's work as a CPA involves individuals, business owners, and tax-exempt organizations to help them create strategic tax plans and meet tax compliance responsibilities. She loves getting to know her clients and seeing them thrive as they take each new step. She finds it deeply rewarding to help a person or organization experience progressive growth and financial success. Beth with her loving family, and they are adorable, Jonathan too, and her work ethic make us all very proud and grateful that she is part of our club. And now, Ricky, time to move on to our next Rotarian. We'll introduce Todd Uticle.
I didn't see Todd on the Zoom. Is Todd here? There he is. I see him now. I see him.
Is he there?
I see him. Never mind. I see him.
All right.
Quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can't hear Todd, it's hard to know he's there.
Yeah,
I mean,
cherish the moment.
I don't know how that is, because for those of you who have ever known a guy who can captivate an audience with his wit and humor, MC an event on a whim. I don't know if you were at any of our spirit runs, but when we had him physically, he always captivated the crowd at the end with his prize giveaway, and that followed the races. He can conduct an auction, and aside from being the one, he is always the can-do guy. Todd is the man. He loves being a dad to his two beautiful and awesome girls, Lila, who's 13, and Mason, who is 10. And if you asked anyone from the old Tri-Valley YMCA, they are truly princesses. And of course, he is also the proud husband of Erica. He didn't disclose an age there, but that's okay. Who did a great job writing up our weekly meeting recaps at one point in time. A graduate of St. Mary's College, go Gales, who then went on to 3 years as an assistant cruise director for Holland America, traveling to over 40 countries during that time. And it was a treat if you got to hear him and Ryan Duncan Anderson go over their experiences of younger days of cruising. He has also been involved for 20 years as a travel agent and an aficionado of European soccer. He's put together many a trip for fellow Rotarians, which I believe he still dabbles in every once in a while. And 19 years and still counting as a mortgage loan advisor. I personally refinanced with him years ago.
That is my son, and also Todd sent me to Alaska one time. I really enjoyed it.
We did a cash out refi to pay for it. I remember that.
Yeah. The last 2 years, of course, Todd has been, as most all of you know, as owning the Sidetrack Bar and Grill downtown, and he loves his crew he put together, emphasizing service above self. He's been a proud Rotarian for 11 years, and we got to know him and his style when he joined us on the Spirit Run Committee as a sponsor committee chair about 8 years ago, and Marjorie and I were chairing. Last year, Todd was honored as a recipient of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Legacy Award at the 2020 breakfast hosted by Pleasanton Community of Character Collaboration. Todd was recognized for volunteering with a variety of nonprofit organizations, helping others raise funds through the restaurant, always willing to call out the good he sees in people and having the courage to call out the things that you need to change. He started the group We Are Pleasanton, a diverse group in our community focusing on Pleasanton schools. Just last month, when funded their first endeavor, a shade structure at Amador that will benefit the entire student body for years to come. The group has raised $225,000 in 3 months.
For the last 4 years, Beth and Todd have given their all to coordinate and lead our annual fundraising event. With all the challenges of COVID that we faced in 2020, they took it upon themselves to make the Halloween Spirit Run work virtually in October, raising net proceeds of approximately $29,000 that will be used towards scholarships for deserving students graduating from high school and in need of financial support who do not have the total means to support a higher education otherwise.
Foundation Board has recognized Todd and Beth's hard work, and we know our club members feel the same in wanting to thank and acknowledge them with today's presentation of Paul Harris Rewards for both Todd Udicall and Beth Atterbury. Rotary established the recognition in 1957 to encourage and show appreciation for substantial contributions to what then the Foundation's only program, Rotary Foundation Fellowships for Advanced Study, the precursor to ambassadorial scholarships. You know what Marjorie changed last night? Now I'd like to present to Beth, and you can present to Todd and ask them to respond.
Okay, so Ricky, if you would present or show the certificate, being that this is Beth's first Paul Harris Award, she is going to be given this certificate that shows that she is a Paul Harris Fellow, and the pin, which, and sorry, that's kind of sideways, but this gold pin that basically represents her award as well. So Beth, congratulations. This is an honor that we bestow upon you because of all of your hard work on our behalf. Thank you.
Everybody clap. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you. This was very unexpected, and you know, like Randy was saying in the beginning, 2020 was a challenging year, and it was a equally good and terrible year for me. And Rotary is always just positive and, you know, something I look forward to, and I appreciate all of you, and I'm just so happy to be part of this, you know, of our club and this community. So thank you.
Our benefit, thank you. Okay, Marjorie.
Oh, okay. And then Todd, what can we say? Years ago, when again, Kathleen and I were chairing the committee, Todd was one of the fellows on the committee who worked the hardest, and we could always count on him. And at that point in time, after the first year of being on the sponsorship chair, we did grant him his first Paul Harris Award. Well, we couldn't go without doing it again. And this time it's with a little sapphire on there. So Todd, you don't get another certificate, but you'll get this pin with the little blue sapphire on it. Congratulations.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything.
Yes, go ahead.
I just know that I've got 2 Paul Harrises. I haven't spent a dime. This is really thank you. Just got to show up and put in a few hours. So I'm on a leave of absence from Rotary right now because I did want to focus on my business in the pandemic, which has been just a roller coaster, and then create We Are Pleasanton, which is now almost 40 or so strong in that email group, and very excited to do stuff for our schools, and that's, I just wanted to have a little focus. So, but I am a Rotarian through and through. So love you guys, miss you guys, and thank you for the honor. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Beth and Todd, for everything that you have done and continue to do for our chapter. It's now time for our program, and Steve McCoy-Thompson is going to introduce today's speakers.
Great. Thank you very much. So this is one of my favorite occurrences. We get to hear from our members to talk about some stories, some insight, something funny, whatever they want to share that helps to really bring us together. And so I'm really happy to introduce Tom Fox, who is going to share some of his experiences, particularly from Myanmar, which I've visited. It's a beautiful country that's going through a lot of turmoil right now. So thank you very much, Tom, for joining us.
Got to unmute, Tom. You're on mute. Tom, you got to unmute.
Ricky, can you unmute him?
There we go.
He asked to do it. I can click ask to unmute, but he's got to unmute himself.
Can't hear
No,
you.
you're still muted.
Press the space bar.
Try pressing the space bar.
Hey, Tom, hover your mouse over your picture top right side, and then hit the unmute button. Go in your picture frame up on the top right. Put your mouse up there, and you'll see the word mute, and then unmute.
Lower left for me.
So, Tom, while he's working on that, I just have to give some backstory here. So he emailed me 2 days ago and said, I need some help with the PowerPoint. Would you do this PowerPoint? And I'm like, no, Tom, you're going to do it. I'll show you how. So Tom has worked diligently with his wife over the last 2 days to do a PowerPoint, and now he can't find out how to turn his microphone on.
know if he has a laptop or if he has a computer, a PC, or an iPad?
I think he's on a laptop.
Okay.
Because he was yesterday.
Maybe he doesn't know what hover means.
Have Sue help you.
Hey, Ricky, are you able to unmute all of us?
I can, hang on.
What's the matter, Ricky? Can't figure it out?
Dude, you want my job? You can have it.
Hey, Tom? Tom, can you hear us?
Hey there.
Can you give us oh, there we go. Excellent.
Okay, well, I had too little time as it was, and now I've lost a lot of that. So I will see if I can get caught up here.
And Tom, you know what? If you run out of time, there's always another lunch.
Yeah, right.
Can they see that now?
Okay, my shared Ricky, is that being shared?
Tom, you have to click that button at the bottom of the screen that says share screen. Remember? I can do it on my PowerPoint if you can't figure it out. I do have your PowerPoint ready to go.
I don't know if I like your version of my PowerPoint.
Okay, look at the bottom.
Well, it might be the only version that we can see, Tom.
Okay, start
there. Oh, no.
Got it.
Do you have a flip chart you could just use?
Yeah.
Green in the middle of the screen, Tom.
It was there yesterday when we were talking. Remember that?
But it's not there today.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you want me to share with I'll just do the PowerPoint that I made for you or that you sent me.
Okay. Damn it. I don't have enough time anyway.
Go ahead, Tom. Take it away.
Okay, get rid of that screen.
Okay, I'm working on it here.
No, just talk. I'll forward it. I've got control of your PowerPoint now, so you just talk.
Good. All right. Well, you can see on this screen what I've been doing for a lot of my time in the last 18 years, but it started a long time before that. So click. This is the town that I grew up in and where I was born in Albion, Michigan, a very small town. That's a hospital to the left. My first house to the right. All my mother had to do was walk across the street to bring me home. Click. After high school, I went to Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. You can see how distinguished I was with all these other notable alumni. Yeah, really. I was barely able to graduate. Click. I did meet my wife, Susie, at Miami. We were called a Miami merger. So this was way back in 1965, 66. And we've now been married for 53 years. Click. These are some of my 11 grandchildren in our backyard. Click. I was able to take Susie on 2 of my Rotoplast missions. Here she is in Lima, Peru with me, and she was also able to go to Luxor, Egypt last year. Click. This shows me with a baby about ready to go into surgery. And this started in about March of 2002 when Sandra Lepley introduced our Rotary Club to Rotoplast after a former colleague of hers told her about a mission coming up in Venezuela the following July. Sandra and I joined the team and started a string of missions for both of us. We got hooked on Rotoplast fast and never looked back. Sandra started as the medical records person and I as the quartermaster in a little town outside of Caracas, Venezuela. Our lodging for that trip was in a convent. Later, we both went on as mission directors and never on the same mission again. We've both been on many missions, but again, never all on the same mission at the same time. I have a difficult time describing the feelings I get when I see a child or adult come out of the operating room with a changed smile, a corrected palate, and know that their life and the life of their family has been forever changed. I have been honored to be able to go many places, see how people live in such different and remarkably different circumstances than I. We also have the opportunity to meet Rotarians in so many countries, all with the universal model of service above self. Click. This is a mission that I went on in Sylhet, Bangladesh. And on this mission, Brian Dunkel went with me also. And it looks like I'm transporting the lead anesthesiologist and the lead nurse from the hotel to the hospital. But in fact, this is just a photo op. Click. In 2019, Steve Brzezowski and I were able to go to Myanmar, which is a country formerly called Burma. This kind of gives you an idea of where it is in relationship to India, Thailand, Vietnam, and so on. Click. We were in this town, which I have a hard time even pronouncing, Nay Pai Ta, and it is now the capital of Myanmar. In about 2006, the dictator who was running Myanmar decided that he should have the new capital somewhere else and make it his city. So leaving Yangon, he started this city. It was actually a small city, but he went about developing this area in the middle of the country for his ego. Click. Part of his ego was building this big superstructure, which even today is not at all utilized. This is part of our team on a 12-lane road with no cars. And this is the way the whole area was where we spent time on this mission. Click. This dictator also decided that if anybody was building anything in the former capital of Yangon, the biggest city in the country, that they also had to build something similar in this new capital city in the middle of the country. So all of these hotels line that 12-lane street, and most of them are closed or being closed. Some of them never even got finished because the town just never developed like he expected it would. Click. This is our Rotoplast mission team for that trip to Myanmar. You see Steve in there somewhere. Yeah, he's in the middle, just behind me. And this gives me a chance to just say that when we go on one of these Rotoplast trips, we spend 2 weeks together, almost day and night, and we become very close to one another. It's like a lot of other experiences that you might have had in various organizations, but spending that much time together really brings us close. And then when we go on future missions, we look forward to seeing some of our colleagues again on another trip. Click. This is a nurse. She was actually the head nurse on our operating area of the hospital on this mission. She's very young. I would guess she's probably 30 maybe at this point. And something very interesting in Myanmar, the communication is all done via Facebook. And after about the third day of our mission, we were not getting enough patients, and we were trying to decide whether we should abort the mission and go back to the States because we just didn't have the patients. We shared this idea of using Facebook with this nurse, and she has 5,700 Facebook friends. And she put out the word to those Facebook friends, and within 2 days, we had all the patients we could handle. So that was a very interesting part of this trip. Click. This shows in the nurses in the background there, but when we finish our surgeries at the end of the week, we always have a thank you to the staff and to the nurses, and we give them cake and soft drinks and so on. So that's what this picture is about. Click. This is a Facebook post that Steve put on. Here it is, February 6th. Obviously, there's a lot of problems right now with the coup in Myanmar, and the country is very unstable, very sad. And so we've been getting Facebook posts from several people like the nurse, and click. This is some of the turmoil that's going on in Myanmar right now. Click. Every day for the last 2 weeks, there's been a large article in any of the paper that you happen to read about what's going on in Myanmar. Click. Click again. This is the hospital administrator, and this is her latest post from February 11th on Facebook, where she's asking for the world to pray for Myanmar. We didn't see very much of her. Most of our contact was with the nursing staff and some of the other physicians at the hospital, but she's very frequently on Facebook. And of course, I can't read any of the posts, even though it says translate here. When I push that on any of these Facebook posts, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. And Steve shares that thought with me. So that's where we are with Myanmar. Rotoplast is in a hibernation stage where we're planning to, again, go on missions as soon as we can. All of our staff in San Francisco has been furloughed, and Steve and I and several other people are doing volunteer things. I pick up the mail once or twice a week, pay the bills and make the deposits of the donations. Steve has just been so great at being on, helping with the board of directors, and also the guru that's able to do all the technical things, kind of like Ricky, and certainly not like me. So I think that's all the time I should have today. We're looking forward to hearing from Julio.
Thank you. Tom, thank you very much, Tom. I actually have a question. When you go over on these, do you have a specific role defined? Does everybody on the team have a role defined that you're gonna, and if so, what was your role?
Definitely. We bring about 4 plastic surgeons, 4 anesthesiologists, we bring 2 pediatricians, and we bring a lot of nurses, and then we bring usually 8 Rotarians, and they are what is called the non-medical support staff. I obviously can't do a surgery, even though I thought I might try to get on Facebook or on YouTube and figure it out one of these days, but better that I not. So we have various roles to support those medical personnel who have the skills to do these surgeries. I go as a mission director, and Sandra went as a mission director many times. And we're kind of in charge of logistics, getting the people where they have to go, getting the supplies and equipment over there, and just kind of managing everything from standpoint of getting the personnel, the medical personnel ready to do their job. Sandra, you might want to comment on that. Sandra? She must be muted.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, it sure does.
It might be that just because of the time left, we need to move on to our second presenter, though, Steve.
That's fine. Sure. Well, thank you, Tom. Really interesting and just
Thank you for
wonderful
the
work you're
opportunity.
doing.
Steve, are you going to introduce Julio?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Julie would just pop right in. So, yeah. I am happy to make this introduction for Julio. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, no problem. So last week I was very impressed with the various stories on Valentine's Day and the pictures that we saw. And for Amy and I, we were both born in China. And I was in southern China, the place of birth, and she was in Nanjing, which is to the north. So we were, then we, because of the change from old China to communism, my family fled to Hong Kong, where I grew up in Hong Kong through high school. And Amy went to Taiwan with her father, who was a economic officer of the Taiwanese government. And before the UN recognized China, they recognized Taiwan as China. And my father-in-law was sent to Geneva as a representative of the labor economic policy for, at that time, called China. And so she actually went to high school in Switzerland. And then we met in Philadelphia, where we went to school, and we were married in New York after we graduated in Philadelphia. So, and she went into her lifelong interest, which is art, painting, and in fact, her first job in New York City was with advertising firms doing commercial art layout. And I started working first as an accountant at the Price Waterhouse, which is one of the big 8 back then, before I moved into banking with Citigroup, and then we were sent overseas, and then so on and so forth. So I noticed several days ago, there was a picture of one of the evenings where I took her to a show at in New York City, the Waldorf Astoria, and of course, you know, usually when you have dinner, some photographer will come and ask if you want to take a picture for a fee. So anyway, so this was the picture at our table, and the show for the evening I still remember was Diana Ross and the Supremes, and the ending song of the evening was Ain't No Mountain High Enough. So for those who belong to older music times, you can recognize what I'm talking about. So I thought for the 5 minutes I have left, I thought I will share something about wildlife. The reason for that is I think, you know, with the pandemic and the reflection and the you know, all the various interpretations that we may have, nature really, if we do not destroy it, it will not destroy us. So there's, while the humans are dealing so difficult with such difficulty during this time, and apparently many animals in the wildlife are okay. So I thought I would share some pictures of these young life in wildlife, which is actually very comforting to look at. Let me see if I can get to. I share screen, right?
You got it, Julio.
And then I click share. So can you see these now?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a baby hedgehog. I don't know what that is. And this is a another hedgehog. This is a baby kangaroo. This is a chinchilla, hamster, a rabbit, small, a small camel, baby crocodile, and cheetah. I don't know what that is. Armadillo, a wombat, baby fox, small pig, a bigger pig, baby otter, prairie dogs, baby donkey, baby giraffe, baby chameleon, very small, baby koala, Australia, baby albino koala, platypus, squirrel, baby deer, baby doves, baby monkey, owl, leopard, duckling, turtle, mouse, kitten, puppy, chipmunk, hedgehog, opossum. That's it. So, so I thought, there's a couple of quotes that sort of is pretty much of a teaching message for humans with respect to how we treat nature and wildlife. And one is, it says, wildlife is something which man cannot construct. Once it is gone, it's gone forever. Man can rebuild a pyramid, but we cannot rebuild ecology or a giraffe. This is from Joy Adamson. Another one, each species is a masterpiece, a creation assembled with extreme wisdom and genius. This is E.O. Wilson. Wildlife is decreasing in the jungles, but it is increasing in the big cities. 4, the plan to protect air and water, wilderness and wildlife are in fact plans to protect mankind. And lastly, if we can teach people about wildlife, they will be touched. Humans want to save things that they love. This is Steve Irwin. So that's my short piece today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, Julio.
That's great. Thank you, Julio. Really
Julio, I'm
appreciate
sorry I cut your time short.
Oh, no problem.
it. Yeah.
Okay, are there any announcements from the board or the foundation? I know the foundation meeting is today at 2 o'clock. Is that correct, Nancy? Okay, if
Yes,
there's
it
no-
is.
We're going to be discussing,
Bill, I would just like to,
mostly we're going to be discussing the grants. that
go
our
ahead, Nancy.
club is going to be giving out.
Okay, if there is no other business, this meeting is adjourned. There's
Hey,
no.
Bill?
I know Kathy and Marge got their shots, but I want you to know there's plenty of shots available here at Sidetrack, and we don't discriminate against age. We have tequila. We have, anyway, all right, thanks.
Yeah. Hey, one last thing. I would like to say
Find
thank
that
you to
man.
Bill
He needs to be
Evans for
fined
putting
for that
together.
one.
Yeah. One last thing, and I'd like to thank Bill Evans for putting together the Super Bowl pool. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm anxious to get my money.
Yeah, I talked with Victoria offline this morning, and she will be mailing the checks. So I'll look for that in your mailbox. I know the check's in the mail. Everybody always says that, right?
Yeah, there
Thank
you
you
go.
guys. That was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Julio. Great job.
Someone needs a helping hand. Tom cares. Could be home or foreign land. Tom cares.
If he can find his unmute
Rotary
button.
here and everywhere.
hidden by my
We were, we play fair. We are Rotary through and through, and we love good things to do. We are Rotary, Tom and you. We care.
Tom, great
right.
job. Great presentation. I'm proud of you with the PowerPoint. You did it.
Well done, Tom. Well done.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in a little bit.